If you want to get a majority of the countries in the world to the negotiating table, you have to come out with a shock and awe. And that's really what I think the tariff announcement was. 34% on top of 20% for China. They're paying attention. Also, people will ask about, why did they do all these random countries? Like there's the example of like the country that only has penguins in it or whatever. And what they basically figured out through the 2018 tariffs in that experiment that they ran is that a lot of countries, they'll just say like, oh, I produce a good, but rather than send it directly to the United States and pay the tariff, we'll just route it through some other country and then we'll send it to the US and therefore there's no tariff. So what they did is they kind of blanketed and said there's nowhere to go, right? If you're coming to the US, you're paying us something. And so if you go and you look at a 54% tariff against China, I would be shocked if it is still 54% a year from now, right? What I think it is that is such a crazy high number that China shows up and says, all right, well, we got to negotiate, right? Like we can't do 54%. And so getting to the table, I think what you'll see is a lot of concessions from these foreign countries and we'll get the rates down. So I do think that in a weird way, the like crazy behavior is kind of a necessity. Another part that people don't want to admit is like, we're all kind of pawns in the game. All the fear, all the selling of the stock market, like you need that to happen to apply pressure to these foreign countries because it's not just happening in the US. China stock market's down, Japan stock market, like you need the chaos because then people say, oh, we have to do something. Let's go talk to them. And so again, it's not comfortable. It doesn't feel good. People aren't excited to wake up and see the market down 5, 6, 7%, but it's kind of a necessity in that shock and awe.